Hey everyone, Danielle from Against All Grain here, and I am going to show you how to get dinner on the table for your family in under 30 minutes with one of my fan favorite recipes that used to be done in the slow cooker. Today we're making the sesame orange chicken. We're gonna just throw it all into this electric pressure cooker and get it going, and you'll have dinner on the table in no time. I have boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. You could really use whatever you'd like. If you want to use chicken breast, you can do that. But I find that the thighs just maintain their moisture and get really, really tender after cooking in this machine. You only have to set the machine for 10 minutes. That's what's going to be so amazing. So we're going to put in some coconut aminos, which are a soy sauce alternative that's soy-free and wheat-free, if you're not familiar with them. A little bit of tomato paste. And then we've got some honey. This makes this kind of sweet and tangy. I like to use more of a light colored honey just because the flavor profile is a little bit lighter and your whole dish won't taste, like honey. And then we've got just a little bit of red pepper flakes. You decide how much you want to put in. If your kids don't like a lot of spice, or if you're like me, don't like a lot of spice, just go back a little bit on it. And then we have some ground ginger and just a little bit of toasted sesame oil. So this is the flavor profile that you get in a lot of Asian foods, and especially like Chinese takeout. Okay, and then I have a couple cloves of garlic that I've crushed. I'm just gonna throw that right in. And to give it that orange flavor, I'm gonna add a little bit of orange zest. Now, if you have my book, you'll know that the orange zest actually isn't in the original recipe, but I wanna bump up the orange flavors a little bit, and especially because we're kind of quick cooking this rather than all day in a slow cooker. I am just going to squeeze 1/2 of this orange right into the pot. Okay, and lastly, we're just going to season it up with a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, so we have all of our ingredients in the pot. I'm just gonna give it a quick stir just to make sure that the chicken is fully coated in all of those sauces that are in there. And then just pop this lid on. Make sure that your valve is set to sealing and not venting so that this can actually come to pressure. And then we're just going to go on manual pressure for 10 minutes. All right, so our timer has gone off. Now I'm gonna do a quick release of this machine. So I always use a towel. You can use an oven mitt or something, but the steam is gonna jump up, so just be careful. So we'll switch this valve to venting, and we'll step away. The steam has stopped and this little metal piece has popped down, which means that the pressure is now released. This is the step that you can skip if you just want to get dinner on the table right away, but what I like to do is thicken the sauce a little bit. So we're going to do it 2 ways here. So we're going to hit the saute function, which is just going to allow the sauce to come to a boil. It'll allow some of the moisture to kind of evaporate off, which is going to thicken the sauce. And meanwhile, what I'm going to do is whisk in a few tablespoons of water into 2 teaspoons of arrowroot. And then I'm going to dump that right into the sauce. And then we'll let that come to a boil and just let it boil for about 10 minutes until you start to see the sauce thicken. All right, that just took about 5 minutes to boil down. The sauce is really silky and thick. And I have some cauliflower rice that I have sauteing over here on the stove. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on the bottom of the plate. You could serve this over whatever you'd like. And then we'll just get a few of these chunks of chicken here. So I'm just going to top it with a little bit of sesame seeds. And we have some chives. You could use some green onions as well if you'd like. Just to make sure that we're seasoned well, just a little bit of salt and pepper. And everything comes together to create takeout in your Instant Pot.